update must have done something to where the connection was crap or something like that. So we're gonna try it again.
We have to do.
No, we're already streaming again. We're already back on Facebook.
Okay.
So hold on. I'm gonna change the privacy. It's kind of a pain in the butt to do it this way, but just
Take three.
yeah, take three, take four, whatever. So we got three people watching. Yeah, sorry guys. We did somehow we got dropped. I don't know if it was Facebook or if it was on this end or what the deal was. My end still said it was still
Oh,
streaming, but your door just opened up like you got a ghost, and it just
what?
closed like you got a ghost. I
Oh
seen an
yeah,
arm in
yeah,
there
yeah.
though, so it wasn't nothing
Yeah, it was
supernatural.
probably my little son.
Yeah. No, I think it might have been. It looked like it might have been the wife's arm, a little taller
Oh,
than the
it
kids.
might have been the wife's arm in there. You never know.
So
You could have, sneakily came in here and wanted to see what we're doing in here.
so there's a few things that's going on in the country. I know that there's a November 9th uh, rally at the Capitol. It's a
Hmm.
chance for people to, kind of come together and give their grievances. I can't remember exactly the name of the rally, but it is going to be in D.C. I think Skylar Stewart and there's a bunch of people that are trying to put it on. It's been being pushed for a long time. So November 9th, if you're not doing anything and you get a chance to get to DC, make sure you get there and stand up and fight for your rights. That's the whole purpose of this show is stand your ground. And if
Yeah.
we don't start standing our ground, then everything that our forefathers fought for, everything that we respect and love about this country will go along the wayside and we will become a country like Venezuela, China,
Yes. Yes.
all those other communist and socialist states. So
Stop thinking that you have to ask permission to exercise your Second Amendment
your
rights.
God-given rights,
Yeah, your God-given
all of
rights
them.
to protection and to defend your country against tyranny. I mean, stop having to worry about what the politicians are saying and what have you, because
Stop thinking.
frankly, yeah,
Stop thinking you got to walk on eggshells around people.
yeah, you don't, you don't. I kind of realized today that a lot of the stuff that I do, I get stressed out about a lot of it, but then I think about it later and I go, well, what's really changed from yesterday to today? Being that you know I'm not going to follow what they tell me anyway. So what's it? I mean, really, what am I stressing out about? That's exactly what I was thinking earlier today. I was like, they could pass whatever the hell they wanted. It's not going to change my mind. So why do I even care? You know,
Right. Hey,
um, I already know.
scoot to the right, or scoot to one side.
Oh,
You're out of camera. There you go. Come
sorry,
on, man.
sorry,
Your
sorry.
personality.
This
You gotta be watching this stuff.
this stupid chair moves around. It's on wheels. God damn it.
Mine is too, but I got mine centered in the camera. So, and
Well, you've seen all the trouble I had to go. Oh, are we offline again?
no, we're still there. I'm
This
watching
was
the stream right now. No,
okay.
you're
My
seeing old comments.
no, 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 no. It kicked again and said live stream stopped.
No, I'm still watching it. My laptop or my phone's still up. Everything's good. People are chatting with us.
Okay, but yeah, everybody that they got to get that kind of a mindset. Stop thinking that they have to ask permission to do whatever. I mean, your day is not going to change. Your week isn't going to change. Um, uh, then, like we were talking earlier about that bump stock thing. Um, it's federally you can't federally enforce it. They could state enforce it, but they can't federally enforce it.
Yeah.
Um,
So for we were talking about that privately, but for those of you
yeah.
who are watching, so the ATF has come out and basically said that they cannot enforce the bump stock ban because it is against the Constitution. Uh, but the states themselves can, and that's because each state has their own constitution. I believe is the reason for that. But the feds cannot get involved in confiscation of bump stocks. That's
Hmm.
not to say that some of it hasn't already happened. I know there was a guy in Texas that already had his bump stocks removed, but I believe there was extenuating circumstances with that. I think he had done another crime or something happened, and they came and picked up his weapons. So
Something.
yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the whole thing was. I haven't seen the whole article. So
Well, I have the whole YouTube thing on my Facebook. I posted it today. I don't know if that matters to anybody. They can go look at it.
I mean, right now we're in the process of trying to find a house. I'll tell you how stressful that is. So the house hunting sucks. We had oh, your door's open again.
Yeah, I see that.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
It was a Cookie Monster.
yeah, Cookie Monster.
You want to see the Cookie Monster?
Sure.
I'll show you.
What, is it the little one?
Oh,
That's the little one.
no. Let's here. You sit right there. All right. There's the Cookie Monster.
There you go. Lift him up.
Stand him up.
There you go.
Look, you're right there. Right there. Say hi. Say hi.
You introduce him to the people there, bud.
Oh, this is everybody. This is Caden. He's about a year and 3 months, and we got him from the pound.
It was a rescue. It was a rescue.
It was a rescue. He looked at me with the little puppy dog eyes and said, "I gotta have that thing." Not quite housebroken yet, but awesome to be with.
That's cool.
So you guys, that's my youngest son right there.
It won't be too long, and he'll be sitting on your other son's shoulders, and you'll be like 4-tier instead of 3-tier.
Exactly. So, yes, he is getting big. Yes, he is.
Ryan is trying to form a trapeze act.
No, I just want my own football team. That's all.
Well, you're getting close to having a basketball team.
I'm getting there. I got three.
Although knowing you, if they end up with your height, yeah, you're gonna be in like Spud Webb.
I don't give a shit. They're all midgets. I don't care. Yeah, it's never bothered me before.
Well, you only got what, 3? We got 5 more to go before you have a baseball team, and they make pretty good.
No, I'm totally good with 3 because it's 3 boys and they all love to do what Dad likes to do.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm gonna go put him back out there, and then I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Ryan is truly blessed with having the children in his life, and very lucky to do so. Let's see if the door stays shut now.
All right. Sorry about that, everybody.
No worries.
I'm back.
All right. So what news going on? I mean, is there? One of the things we didn't cover was Trump has sent the Pentagon has sent troops over to Saudi Arabia, and I read something.
Yeah.
I shared a video. Now, I don't know how true this is or not, but I shared a video where it was a guy that was reading stuff off of Twitter and off of another website, where he had said that Saudi Arabia and Israel had actually bombed a bunch of Iranian. It was an Iran camp or something in Syria. So Israel, this is big because it's Israel and Saudi Arabia. They're working together on this. So if that's the case, and of course the news isn't going to cover it because now it's showing the Muslims and Israelis working together. That's something you've never heard of before. And if that's the case, that's something Trump has had a hand in. And at the same time, it doesn't sound like Netanyahu is going to end up having. I'm not sure there was a big race over there for the prime minister, and it sounded like it was a lot closer than what most people thought it was going to be between Netanyahu and the guy that was running against him. So Netanyahu's time as prime minister in Israel may be just about up.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably right.
And your door's open again.
Yeah, it does that. I got lots of them. I got 3 boys, so they
like,
want to know what's going on.
What's Dad doing? What's Dad doing?
Exactly. What's he doing in there? What's he doing?
No.
But yeah.
I envy you for some of that, and some of it I don't.
Yeah, you get to see what I get to put up with, and I had to deal with them at Six Flags all day. So you remember
Oh
Shane?
yeah.
That
What's
one's
up,
Shane.
Shane? What's up, dude?
He, he says, "What's up, Shane?"
And there's the other
And then
one.
that's Cody. You guys can come over and say
Come
hi.
over and say hi.
Tell them your name.
My name is Cody.
Okay,
I'm Shane.
and there
All
you
right, there you go.
go.
I've had the
You guys
bigger
make
one on the show before with
Okay,
us.
he's been on the show before. This guy right here, he's the middle one, Cody.
That's what Ryan looks like
He's
with
the
curls.
Yes, he has the kind of hair I had when I was his age, very curly, and uh, he's my little surfer. He's like my little Patrick Swayze on Point Break.
He's just a little
So-
dude. He's just a dude. He's a
yeah.
dude.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Let me go kill each other.
Alright, bye.
All right.
Go play with guns.
Yeah, go play with knives and
Go,
stuff.
go
and
do
swords.
America.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Go do America.
Yeah, so hope they turn the whole place into glass. Yeah, who says that? That's exactly what they need to do
Yeah.
to that.
Deborah, I
up
think
there.
most of us in this country are with you 100% on that for sure.
Yes,
Um,
I think we've had enough problems with the Middle
well,
East.
you know,
Just
we haven't. It's funny because it's only been in like the last 20, 30 years that we've had issues with the Middle East, and since it wasn't that long ago, really, the 50s and 60s, that the Middle East was a lot like America. I mean, you had, if you looked at the way that people dressed and the way that people acted
Yep.
over there, it was a
Yep.
lot different than it is now.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
it's a lot of it is the religions have taken over, and, they've basically destroyed that region of the world. And you've got the different Muslim sects. You got the Sunnis and the Shiites and so many other ones. I can't even think of them all. But that's basically what has happened to the country. I mean, they've had droughts and they've had some other things that have been a downturn too. But most of the fighting has been in the last 20, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Up until then, it was relatively peaceful over there. Now, obviously, I don't live there, so I couldn't, verify that. But looking back in old magazines and things like that of Iran and Iraq and Afghanistan, they weren't that much different than us. And
No,
then all of a
no.
sudden, throughout the years, you notice a huge change and war. I don't know if they were ever a capitalist country. I don't know if that was them or not, but they didn't have the issue with women driving cars. They didn't have the issue with the clothing and stuff that they make people wear now. It was a lot more lax, and it was probably a lot freer society back then.
Wasn't that because of the push to make it Muslim, um, and start pushing more for the Muslim laws, Sharia law, and things like that?
Well, I'm
Remember
sure that
right?
had a hand in it, but at the same time, if where did it come from? I mean, those countries have always had that in their background, but in the last 20, 30 years, they've really, really hammered it, and it's been
They've really ramped it up.
well, the Ayatollah over in Iran. I mean, that guy is a complete fruitcake. I mean, every
Mm-hmm.
time he has some kind of a thing get together with his military forces or even the public, it's death to America on everything. It doesn't matter what it is. They're screaming death to America after Obama gave him $1.7 billion in cash. That shows how much
Yeah.
hatred they have toward us. And, and it's, I applaud Trump for doing what he's done. He's sanctioned the shit out of them. He's basically cut off all funding,
Mm-hmm.
mainly from all the banks. He's talked in other countries that had anything to do with it to shut them down. And
Mm-hmm.
so there was a thing too. The same guy that had mentioned that Syria and Syria and Saudi Arabia. I'm sorry, Israel and Saudi Arabia had bombed over in Syria. The same guy a couple days earlier had posted a video that North Korea had shot at a Russian patrol boat, And again, not in the media, but it was. I did verify that it actually happened, and I think it was a mistake. I don't think that it was serious. Basically, well, I mean, it was serious, but I don't think that it was intentional. I think what ended up happening was they probably thought it was another country's boat, and they opened fire on them. Well, the Russians basically commandeered two of the North Koreans' boats with 44 sailors on it. So Russia's like, nah, you ain't doing that to us, and they're allies. So I don't get that. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff, but North Korea sounds like they're about ready to start launching a sub. So that's something to keep an eye on.
I wouldn't take anything North Korea says seriously, but
Dean Wheeler just posted Pompeo on Fox tonight expects Iran to attack again. So, things are getting heated up over there, and Iran's already basically said that they could sink one of our aircraft carriers. I have a feeling that would be one of the last things that they attempt to do. But if they do, then I would hope that Trump and the Pentagon and whoever else is involved were just to decide just turn the damn country to sand. I mean, it's such a little country too. It's not even worth dealing with. It's like North Korea.
Yeah, North Korea is this big. They can't do much.
It's a speck,
Yeah.
And yet we allow and the other countries around them allow them to be such an influence. It's ridiculous.
I think it's the UN that does that.
Yeah, probably.
And the UN just kind of all countries are equally great for their own reasons.
Well, the UN has always done the whole humanitarian crap, right? So it's okay that if they come over here and bomb us, but yet we can't retaliate because it's a human rights violation.
Well, it's like I think they try to say like, well, you're America, you're like the bully, so for you to get slapped a little bit isn't going to hurt your ego.
Well, I have a message to the UN. That's my message.
Exactly. I got the same message. Yeah, nobody gives a crap what the UN says. If anything, they could send their guys over here. They've been saying that for how long? They're going to send them over here, disarm us. And all I could think of, it'd be like the best target practice ever. Little blue helmets running all over the place, falling over. Oh, it'd be fucking funny.
Petey says that the UN is as useless as a screen door on a submarine. I agree.
And that is 100% true. Yes, that is what we don't even need it. I don't even know why we have it.
Yeah,
completely used.
Well, and a lot of the countries are, for one, they don't pay for their own, and they expect the United States to step up and protect them and guard them and be the protector of the whole damn world.
They want us to be their watchdog. Exactly.
And I don't think it's our job. For one, the taxpayers, let's put it this way, dude. We won the lotto whenever we were born over here. We really did. Could you imagine? This is no joke. Could you imagine being born in Egypt or Syria or any of those countries over there? Could you imagine growing up in the crap that they deal with? And yeah, it is crap. But
yeah,
at the same time, their rulers or their leaders have had every opportunity to stop it. And whenever they did have someone that stopped it, we seemed to step in and take them out. Like Saddam Hussein, right? Saddam Hussein was the ruler of Iraq for how long? And we went in and took the dude out, and then all hell breaks loose. So,
well, yeah, we stepped in and we said, well, we're going to help you become a democracy, and then we tried to impose democracy into their country, and they have no actual will to become a democracy. They made it look good, but it's all trying to help those countries is garbage. It's not even worth it.
So Dean Wheeler, and maybe you can answer this question. I think I can answer it too. But Dean Wheeler asks, "Is NATO different than the UN?" And yes, they are two different organizations. Do you know what the difference is? Ryan, do you know what the difference is between the two?
Oh, me? I don't know. Oh, I thought you were talking to him.
No. I had just read his question. So
Uh,
NATO is the military. Um, basically, NATO is the military equivalent of the UN. The UN is basically all the countries that have signed on to the United Nations agenda or whatever you want to call it.
they're
Eh,
they're the ones that they send in to make other countries, comply, basically.
Yes, but
Or
it's
they,
mostly for humanitarian reasons.
yes, yeah,
So okay, so actually Angela looked this up because she wanted to. So the UN focuses on help bringing all the countries together and giving them a platform to solve issues, while NATO is an alliance formed by some countries to defend each other in war and other activities. The UN is known as a political organization, while NATO can be termed as a military organization. That's what I was thinking as well. So, you know, the UN has a tendency to invade countries, not like physically, but to push a political agenda. And NATO is a group of allies that will go in and fight if there's a war.
yeah. It's funny because who is it? Uh, Petey Englert. He says NATO is basically U.S. and the
Yes.
Europeans, which is well, actually, it's actually just the U.S. pretty much, because the UN, you know where their headquarters is, right?
It's in the United States. Well, one of the headquarters. There's more than two.
It's in New
Well, there's
York.
one in Brussels also.
Yeah, but I mean, the main one is here in New York. So I mean, we're funding most of UN, anything that they're doing. We're funding
Well,
most of it.
that's one reason
Um,
Trump wanted to pull out of it, because we are funding most of it. And
yes.
I think we should stay in NATO because I think we do need our allies. The thing is if we do get attacked, who's going to sit there and defend us? And
Hmm.
I mean, who's going to help us? It's like the French whenever we had the Revolutionary War. The French helped us,
Yeah.
but they were really late to the fight. I mean, they were like,
Yeah.
we come over after everyone dead and we clean up for you.
That's pretty much what they did. They showed up at the end. Yeah. Oh, what'd you do to me?
Your phone's ringing or something's going on. Is that your phone?
Ain't my
Oh,
phone.
sorry, it was Angela's phone.
But you cut my face off.
No, the program
Oh, there I am.
did it.
Okay.
The dinner's ready. She's
Oh.
cooking.
Oh, I see.
It's a scary proposition, but
She's
she's
cooking.
cooking.
Oh, she heard
She
that.
did.
What are you guys doing? Like moose tongue or something? Moose
No, we're
snout?
not doing
We got
doing moose tongue. We're doing
whale-
moose knuckle.
Whale blubber? Yeah.
No, she's cooking some chicken stuff. Chicken
Oh.
It's like chicken noodle.
chicken noodle crock pot stuff.
Something.
Chicken noodle
What
crockle
the
pot.
hell did you say? Crackle pot. That's gonna be some good shit.
Oh, we cook a
Chicken
chicken.
noodle crackle pot.
No, we
So,
so I
oh,
was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, between me and you, we've always kind of joked around and kind of found different things to talk about. So, as most everybody that's on my Facebook feed knows, we've been in that process of trying to buy a house. Let me tell you about buying a house. If you've never bought one, here's things that we've learned to not do when you're buying a house. Don't tell everybody I'm buying a house and then post the fucking pictures on a house that you think you're going to get and find out like 2 days later you can't get it because someone else beats you on the offer. Yeah, we made that mistake. And then do it more than
Well,
once.
Wait a minute. Are you friends?
No.
Then what were they doing looking for a house on your Facebook page?
That's not what I said.
Oh,
I didn't say one of my friends bought the house. We
Oh.
posted a house that we were trying to buy,
yeah.
and as we put the offer in, someone else put an offer in. Not someone we know, just someone else.
Oh, okay.
And their offer beat us out. And then it happened more than once. It happened twice. So we're actually working on the third house. So yeah. Yeah. House hunting
That's not
sucks. House hunting sucks, especially in Anchorage. So we were trying to buy a house outside of Anchorage, just a little bit out, like 30 minutes. And
Yeah.
the problem is, like, I mean, there was a house, I shit you not, dude. This is where our luck goes. There was a house that was on the market for a year and a half. And a year and a half, no one took it, right? It had some price drops, and it finally got down into our range. And we're like, okay, well, let's go put an offer on it. So we put an offer on it. I get a text from our real estate guy later that night. Oh, someone else put an offer in. Okay, well, raise it up, $5,000. Comes back to me last night. He says, oh, well, the owners took the first offer. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Really? It's been on the market a year and a half, and someone just beat us to the offer, and we got screwed on that one again. So it's like, what the really? The first house had only been on there for like 4 days, so I understand that one. But the one that we just lost out on had been on there for a year and a friggin' half, and they hadn't accepted anything, and we got beat on that. It's like, seriously? So
That's pretty bad.
So
You were
the next one we're putting an offer on in is in Anchorage. It's closer to work, it's nice. It's in a good neighborhood. Definitely doesn't have as big a backyard or anything like that, but I'm gonna probably try and build a deck on it. That's a nice house. It's just not the first house we looked at. The first house that I wanted was perfect. So, and I don't feel like I'm settling, because we actually like this house that we put the offer in. It was one of the first houses we liked. So we had some options, but it's like, seriously, man, it's like when you put an offer on the house, you're like kind of sitting on pins and needles waiting for it. And then you get shot down, you're like, what the hell? And then it happens again, and you're like, what the hell? So if it happens a third time, I'm not gonna buy a house till after fucking Christmas.
Why don't you just build one? You just go chop down some trees, make a log house, and there you go.
To be honest with you, that's actually one of the harder things up here. So there's a lot of like logging laws and stuff up here, because Alaska's got a lot of trees and a lot of logging stuff. So there's certain trees you can't cut down, and you can't do any logging close to Anchorage. So I'd actually gotten into a discussion with somebody the other day about like burning wood, and there's a lot of, you can get fined if you cut the wrong trees down. You can get fined if you cut in the wrong area, and it's like, it's not even worth it, so I don't know. A lot of people think that everybody runs wood burning stoves up here. They don't. They're there if power goes out, but most people burn gas or electricity and that kind of stuff. They're not running regular wood stoves anymore.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I had something funny I wanted to tell you. So the other day, I think it was Friday, they had that I don't know what the Greenpeace crap across the country. You hear about that?
The Greenpeace stuff? No, huh?
I don't know, climate
Oh.
control or whatever the hell it was. Something to do with the little hippies and shit.
Tree huggers.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so they were here where I live. I went downtown for a meeting, and they were having a giant Yahoo down there, and it just so happens that was the day, I guess. Kids cut school to do this. There was people walking all over the place downtown Santa Rosa, and they had tents. Like, I thought they were throwing a freaking fair, but I found out real quick it was not a fair. And so I'm down there, and the first thing I couldn't think of is, why the hell did they have to why did all these people cut school to be here? They could have done it after they get out or wait till a weekend, but no Democrat makes any sense. So they just decided to cut school and do whatever they were going to do. Well, anyway, there was hundreds of them. And they did this across the whole nation. They were doing it in San Francisco, New York. They were doing it everywhere. And so they came running up when I was walking by, and they're trying to give me paperwork. He said, hey, you need to take this. And I kept repeating. I'm like, I don't care. And they're like, well, we're trying to stop cars from using, fossil fuels. We're trying to this, we're trying to that. And they're all talking about we need to get California more, off fossil fuels because anything they can do to, undermine Trump, it doesn't matter what it is. So I asked him a real simple question because I was talking with, I believe it was Greenpeace. They were trying to give me all this crap, and I asked him a serious question. I said, California is, in fact, a consumer state. It's one of the biggest consumer states. I think the biggest one in the whole union. Well, anyway, I said with all these consumer, you being a consumer state, I said you literally have no idea how many tankers are bringing in consumer goods, airplanes, trains, big rigs, and I go, you guys haven't tried to regulate any of those, and I go, and your consumer base has doubled in the past 20, 30 years. I go, so that means even double the amount of CO2 and shit you're putting in the air by these big, vessels that are bringing in all your goods. I go, but you're going after the citizens who drive, a flipping car when one of these tankers would literally cancel out 1 million cars. And I go, you guys aren't trying to regulate anything they're doing.
Well, and look at Hollywood. I mean,
well, no. But what I was trying to get at is they're not really trying to fix the problem because all of them came back with the same answer. Well, how are we going to get our goods? And I'm like, so you care more about the goods than you do the stupid environment. I go, that's basically where I'm going with this. I go, you talk a great deal. You want me to change. You want him to change. But you, being consumers, you don't want to change because you won't get your shit anymore. And it was so funny. They couldn't answer it. They couldn't defend it. Nothing. They were just kind of like dumbfounded, like, sitting there like a deer in the headlights, just kind of, huh? And I'm like, yeah, dude. So you can't even answer me a very simple question. What are you doing about all this incoming commerce? Yeah, they can't. They don't want to fix.
Well,
that's
the problem, dude. And you know it as well as I do with the Democrats is what ends up happening is they come up with a great idea with no follow through, right? There's zero.
Well, the follow through is actually there. You could see all these companies producing electric cars, but the follow through is there. But the only reason why that follow through was there was all those electric cars companies. That big push was done by California because all those people invested their money into electric batteries. All the politicians, everything. Soon as Obama gave all that money to Tesla to build the companies, you remember that?
Yep.
That's exactly when everybody said, oh, let's stick our money in there and build this. It doesn't really matter because just mining for the lithium alone does more damage to the environment than 1 million cars. But they don't care.
I was about to say that exact thing, actually. So
exactly. They don't care. They just, I know where they're putting their money, and we all sit back and we go, wonder how these politicians like Nancy Pelosi, who only gets paid $178,000 a year, how is she worth, $100 million? How is that possible? Well, you goddamn it, this is exactly how. They push a narrative, they push an agenda, they put their money into the stocks because they know they're going to make it work, regardless of what we say as citizens, and then they stick all their money in there. They go, oh, well, we bought the stock at, $1.50. Now it's worth $400 because now we made it mandatory. Everybody used lithium batteries.
Well, here's the thing. And I've never been a Trump basher. I've never been a huge guy pushing people.
Exactly.
Hold on. I've never been a guy
that's right there. She bribes.
Hold on. I've never been the guy that's pushed super hard for people to, vote for Trump. I don't like to tell anyone who to vote for, okay?
No,
but if Trump is in the White House the next 4 years, which it looks like he will be, okay, everything that the Democrats stand for is going to have to change. Everything, if they ever want the White House back. And what I mean by that is he is ruining the Democratic Party as we speak. Literally ruining it. I mean, everything... And there was a meme that was put out a while ago, and it's the truth. He doesn't call any of them out. Basically, he white lights them, right? So there's the attention's on them. And whenever they open their mouth and they say what it is that they say, they have got literally nothing to back it up. And that's the beauty of what Trump does. Now, yeah, Trump screwed up on a lot of shit. I mean, the Second Amendment stuff is my biggest pet peeve. And
That's my biggest pet peeve.
you know, the thing is he knows, and we hate it whenever he's on Twitter. I hate it. I cringe because
I cringe anytime he gets on there.
I mean, it's like I don't know what his I don't know what his reading comprehension is. But some days I'm like, okay, whatever. But it's something that he has figured out how to tap into the American culture to where his base will never leave him. I mean, when he said that he could go out in New York and shoot somebody and never be arrested, it's the freaking truth. I swear to God.
Well, yeah, being president, I think he'll give himself a clemency.
Well, no, I mean, he has gotten so popular, and not just here, but in other countries. Look at Hong Kong,
Yeah,
right? They're
Hong
fighting to
Kong,
be
and
like
yeah,
us. And now, keep in mind, Hong Kong's in a country that supposedly hates us, being China, even though, and a lot of that has to do with the tariffs and crap like that we put on them.
sure.
But that's the thing. For those that you don't understand what the tariffs are about, basically we take so many different things from China, and we use the shit out of them. I mean, your cell phones, your cars. I would say probably 60% or more of the crap that we have in the United States that we use day to day comes from other countries. The other 40%,
Well,
I'm not joking. I mean, seriously, we
no,
are like
What
a
I was going to
consumer
say is,
country.
what I was going to say is, I had the Greenpeace people actually agreeing with me, because after I told them about how much emissions that being a consumer state and bringing all the goods here, how much emissions it costs. And then I said, Trump's doing you a favor. He just implemented all these tariffs on these countries. So now we don't have so much crap coming in. So why would that be a bad thing? And it was funny. He actually had some of the EPA people going, yeah, that's actually a good thing, isn't it? And I said, yeah, so why are you so mad? Yeah.
Well, I mean, the United States has dropped our carbon footprint a ton. That whole carbon footprint thing, I think is,
Yes.
kind of bullshit. But if you look at what China does, I mean, look how many people they have, and their factories
Yes.
are not doing anything to stop any kind of pollution or anything like that. So, if the world is
Oh.
getting polluted, it's not the United States doing it. It's Russia, it's
Yeah.
China, it's all these other countries that we cannot control. So,
Sure.
it's like, we're supposed to do a whole bunch of other crap that another country isn't going to do. What the hell's the point in it? If you can't make them do this stuff, then, might as well just make what we got to make, being the coal and everything else, and say, fuck it. Do it, do the same things. Now, I don't know. I don't have the answer. The one thing that I do want to express to everybody, and I know we've been kind of lax on this lately. We haven't been posting it as much as we did the first week. We need to keep posting the hashtag Stand Your Ground. And
Yeah, I kind of slacked off on that myself.
yeah, we both did. Just remember, we the people, we're the ones that
We the people.
we're the ones
I don't-
that can make the difference.
Mine doesn't say "we the people." What does mine say? I don't even know what my shirt is.
It's don't
It's
tread on me, snake.
Yeah, it's the
Don't-
Donald Trump.
Don't
and his
step
flag,
on me,
and
snake.
I don't know what it says over there or something.
I can't read it.
I don't know what it says. I think it's enlisted 9. That's what.
Okay. Well, we got a long ways to go. I think this winter, I think things are going to start heating up a little bit. We got to keep our eye on what's going on with Iran. That's the thing. Trump is trying to stay out of a war, especially during an election year, and I think Iran's trying to push him into it. So, anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a night, man, where we've been going on for an hour, even though we did have a little technical difficulties.
We did have 10 minutes of technical problems. But...
Yeah, we got people signing off there. They're already saying bye. So,
bye-bye, guys.
We'll go ahead and call it for the night. But tune back in again next Sunday night. Hopefully, you don't have as many technical difficulties. And now that we got the updates going and everything seems to be going okay, I can keep it.
Are we gonna have no problems next week?
We shouldn't have. It should save everything that we
Okay.
just tweaked. So hopefully we just start it right up and it gets good to go.
Sounds
All
good.
right. No,
All
I'm gonna go ahead.
right,
I'm
buddy.
gonna go ahead and send the outro. So, hang tight real quick while I end the show, and we will go from there. As always, stand your ground,
Okay.
and may be back next week on Sunday at 6 p.m. Alaska time, 7 p.m. Pacific, and 10 p.m. Eastern. This is Sherman Tank, and that's Do Stuff, and we will catch you next week.
You're right.